usted para acompañar?
¿Por qué se lo quieren llevar?
Ha conspirado contra España.
Mi hijo no ha hecho nada.
Hola y bienvenidos, and today we're talking about a Spanish movie. I will warn you in advance, some swearing is about to come forth. The title of this movie is The Bastard's Victory, or La Higuera de los Bastardos, to give it its proper name. I really hope I can do this film justice, the review, for you. I have a feeling that it will be difficult, but I shall try my best. Okay, before we get into a basic synopsis of the movie, I usually give you the director, writer and main star's names of the movie. As this is a Spanish movie, I apologise in advance for mispronunciation, but here we go. So the movie is actually taken and based on a book by Ramiro Pinilla. It has actually been adapted by the same individual that actually directed this movie, Ana Murugaran. The main stars of this movie are Cara Elejalde, Pepa Aniorte, Carlos Arizas and Mikel Losada. Okay, now we've got that out of the way, let's try and get onto a synopsis for you. As I say, I really hope I can do this one justice, as I feel that trying to describe this movie and what it's about doesn't really put it across in the best light. So this was presented as a whimsical comedy set in the backdrop of the Spanish Civil War. Now, I don't know why, but the first thing that came to my mind was Monty Python. I'm not a fan, so I was thinking, but I watched this. There are surely moments of comedy in this, but this movie is a lot more serious than is first suggested, and I was totally surprised by this one. So as I said already, this one is set against the backdrop of the Spanish Civil War. We follow the fascist Falanges party, who their work is pretty much to stamp out any signs of communism within the country. Anyone that doesn't support their cause, anyone that is not loyal to the fatherland. As an example, two little boys that were called Juan and Pedro are actually renamed in this to Adolf and Benito. So it just shows the sort of like attitudes that we're looking at here. So within this fascist Falanges party, we concentrate mainly on one of the characters called Rogelio. He is one of the more brutal people within the group. He's got one of the strongest viewpoints. And a normal evening for them is actually going out and executing people that do not support their cause. On a specific evening, they are actually given news of a family in the area, and they go out and murder a father and his son. His son has just turned 16, and they are told that when a child turns 16, they are able to wield a gun, so they are able to murder, and they are able to be killed. They leave behind the wife with two daughters and a young son who is 10 years old, and this is the turning point of the movie. It maybe sounds like I'm giving spoilers there. I'm not giving spoilers. This sets the movie up and gives us the story to follow. There's an exchange between this young boy who has watched his older brother and father be taken away and Rogelio. He basically just stares at Rogelio, and in that stare is just a lifetime of hatred. And Rogelio, when looking at him, is pretty transfixed, and he knows then and there that looking at this young boy, that young boy one day will reach the age of 16 and will come to find him and will kill him for what he has done to his family. And this marks a turning point in Rogelio's life. It's not sudden, overnight, complete change, but not far off it. He is, I think, disturbed and frightened by what he sees in this young boy's eyes, and he perhaps starts to look at what he has done in a different light. He realises that he's left his family without a father and an older brother. So the boy takes it upon himself to actually bury his father and brother himself. It takes him a very long time to do this. And on top of the graves, when he's finished, he places a little stick, which is a sapling from a fig tree from a nearby area, that he wants to mark his father and brother's graves. Now this is where the movie is going to sound odd. It's going to sound like, how does this work? What are you talking about? Rogelio witnesses the boy come every night to this grave to water the fig sapling to try and nurture it, and there is another man in the area who is actually the man that has informed on the family to get them evicted so that he can move into their property. He is coming every night and ripping up this sapling and breaking it into bits. Rogelio, I think, seeking redemption possibly, makes it his life's job to actually protect and nurture this tree, to ensure it's not torn up and to ensure it reaches maturity on top of these graves. And that's what the movie follows. It follows his journey, how he tries to protect the tree. Sort of, we get to see inside his psyche, we get to sort of see the change in this man and how he feels about what he's done, how he tries to make things better for the little boy and their family. And he turns from a fascist soldier, a very brutal fascist soldier, into a hermit who lives in a field, constructs a little wooden hut, long beard, long hair, completely changes, and his life's work is this little fig tree. Because he is such a nasty person, he is referred to within the movie as a bastard, hence the bastard's fig tree. This is where the title comes from. Lots happen along the way. His soldier comrades try to move him on, try to get him off the land. He's offered an awful lot to move off the land, but he is determined that he is going to stay. He is going to tend to this tree. He is going to try to put right what he put wrong. You know, and you could ask questions, why did he feel that tending a tree is going to make right his murdering of these people, and probably countless others? And there's no explanation for that. It's just something that he feels very strongly that he has to do. Okay, so I've told you the premise, and please let me tell you, I cannot actually do justice to how good this movie actually is. The story does sound like something that maybe you wouldn't at first seek out, you wouldn't want to watch. I'd sort of give you an idea. The movie Life is Beautiful, the Italian movie set against the war. Anyone that has seen that movie will know how powerful and how beautiful a movie that is. But if you try to explain the movie to anyone, and if you try to tell them what it's about, it doesn't really invoke that feeling of wanting to watch it. But it's beautiful, and this movie is very similar. The story is in no way similar, but it is a beautiful artistic movie, and by that I don't mean arty-farty, I don't mean highbrow. This has a lot of heart, there's a lot of depth to it. It's a story of redemption, it's a story of all that was wrong at that time in history and what happened, and trying to show you the other side of things that went on. The movie does address issues that have been refused to be addressed in the past within Spanish history. It covers the inhumanity in the world, it covers the fragility of life and the certainty of death in the world. As a matter of fact, the only true certainty in the world. There's an awful lot to love about this movie, relationships. The acting in this is first rate. The actor Cara Elhalde, who plays Rogelio, is just wonderful. He didn't put a foot wrong. He managed to put across very different characters in this as he makes his story arc, his transition. There are other characters along the way. I don't want to give away too much as to what happens, the adversities that he faces, different things that happen along the way as side plots. But I loved this movie. I loved the story. It was beautifully told. The cinematography was gorgeous. The sound design was perfect. If you are a movie fan, if you like to watch things and don't pigeonhole yourself into one particular genre and you're willing to try something new, obviously it's Spanish, so it is subtitled. This is just a beautiful movie. It's so well done. The acting, there's nothing I don't have any complaints about this movie. There is no way I would have had this movie different or I would have added anything. I don't feel there was any negatives. And it's quite a rare thing to be able to say that. As I say, all I can sum this movie up as is something that initially you may not think that you want to see. But if you're a movie fan, you want to see this, you want to experience this movie because it is first rate. I'm going to do something very rare here, and I'm actually going to give this movie a 10 out of 10 because I can't find anything wrong with it. I loved it. I wouldn't say it was a whimsical comedy. It was, to me, a very serious, very moving movie. Very poignant. Very poignant ending. I don't want to say what happens at the ending, but yeah, I liked where it went, and that may seem weird if you see the movie, but I liked how brave they were with the ending. There were certainly a few bits that were funny that did make me laugh, but they were very sort of honest, real humour. It wasn't attempts at gags, it wasn't attempts at comedy. It probably was attempts at comedy, but it came across as very natural and something that would actually really happen. And I did laugh a few times, but the movie overall was very serious to me. Even though what it's about may not seem like that could be the case, it most certainly is. If you're interested in seeing this movie, the theatrical run for it starts on May the 10th in Los Angeles, with a hope to expand out further than that after the initial release, and there will be a digital release for this movie on June the 4th, and I thoroughly do recommend that you watch this one. It is one that I will most definitely buy I will add to my collection. And anyone that knows me knows that I no longer really collect movies. I had too many, but if I love something, I will buy it because I know I will rewatch it. I will be recommending this to friends, to family. My father would love this movie. And I'm recommending it to you guys. Give it a chance. If you want to see a bit of superb acting, a really unique movie, watch this. It is, I give it 100% a thumbs up, and I thoroughly recommend it to you. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments. It does sound like a bit of a weird one, but is it one you would give a chance to? Does subtitles put you off a bit? Let us know below in the comments, and I look forward to speaking to you next time.